Now, thank you for reminding me. The part on which you question, I'm not asking you to meditate and no, when you question, questions should be fast, okay? So prepare yourself on the go as you read the material, okay? If you see something, a title like Women in the Civil War, maybe a question, who were them? What did they do? When did they do it? What did they want? Because those are probably going to have to do with the questions. Okay, so this is what it means. Question yourself when you see the title. Number 3, read. Read your questions in mind, okay? In this step, it's convenient that you don't skip it. Read the questions. That's usually the suggestion. Read the questions and then read the text, because then your mind has a general idea of what you have, what words, what verbs you have to look for in the reading, okay? Step 4, recite. It says, now it's time to go back and answer those questions you created. Make sure what you read makes sense and what you understand how it answers and that you understand how it answers your questions, okay? Now recite doesn't mean you have to start talking while you do the exam. It means answer your own questions. Go to step number 2. Okay, who were the women in the Civil War? Can you answer that question? Okay, what did they do? When did they do it? Who did they help? That's what it means. Because usually the questions you formulate in your head are the ones you have to answer, usually. And at the end, it says review. This part, at least in the Cambridge exams, you don't need to. You don't need to, because there's not enough time, okay? But I needed you to know this technique. I recommend you to use it when you prepare, okay? Because the more familiarized you are with the vocabulary, with reading itself as a skill, the faster you will read. One of the problems the students have is that they say, I read the text, teacher, and I didn't understand anything. So next time I read it, I understood, okay? So this is because of lack of practice, nothing more. It's not that you don't know the words, it's lack of practice. This is one technique. One that works better, it's one called reading for gist. Usually, when you do a Cambridge reading, you have to use more than one technique, okay? More than one. Skimming is useful for those questions that ask you, what was the conversation about? Or what is the main idea of paragraph 1? Then skimming is good, okay? Because this is getting the gist. The gist means the main idea, okay? This is, skimming is a reading technique where you can glance over the material to find what you're looking for, okay? As we said, this is best used when you already know the general idea. So first you scan the text, you have a general idea, and then number 2, you skim. So you read the question and you look specifically for that information, okay? Example, it says getting a first glance of how a chapter or article is laid out, for example, will help you know where to look for key information on the second read, okay? You can read or use skimming for reading services or product reviews. This means when the Cambridge reading is a book review, a restaurant review, you can use skimming a lot. When you give a speech at the last minute, when you do quick research, or quick reviews before exams, right?
Skimming, sorry, when you're talking about this, is to look up keywords?
Keywords. Mm-hmm.
To give the idea?
Yeah, main idea of the text and main idea of the paragraph, okay? So as it says at the end, skimming is going to help you a lot of time, yes, but without fully comprehending the entire text. So you cannot expect to fully understand if you only use skimming, okay? But it saves you time when it comes to materials, to tests, okay? So I repeat, when do you skim on exams? After you scan and you skim for those specific questions, what is the author's main idea? Or what was the author trying to imply? Because that's a main idea, okay? That's skimming. Scanning, it's a different method. It's a method you use by just running your eyes over a text, okay? Usually when you look for keywords, for example, in those questions, the word, for example, the word attempted in line A, paragraph 2, means, then you can scan. You don't need to read the whole paragraph, just scan for that word, okay? So this is a commonly used technique for exams when they ask you for specific words. Words, dates, okay? If the question involves a date, then you just go ahead and look for those dates. Those are tricky though. They are always tricky. Always read a little bit before, like a line before or in a line after the exact word, okay? This works with articles, with food and drink menus, emails, etc. And exams, it works specifically looking for words that they are giving you. Words, dates, names, names, what else? Yeah, if they ask you for specific information, that's the word you look for. That's it. That would be scanning. Now, active reading gives you a more in-depth understanding of the text that it's in front of you, okay? This should be used when you're reading something complex or something that you need to think critically about, okay? So in order to do active reading, you must ask yourself questions through the text and reflect in those, okay? You can take notes also. Remember, when you have an exam, maybe you don't have a lot of time because you have like 1 minute per item question. So there's no time for reflection, but in all of the Cambridge exams, it's important to ask yourself questions, to anticipate the questions. That is good. And if you do active reading, the suggestion in the Cambridge exams is usually not to, for example, let's say you studied mechanics and they are giving you a text on mechanics. Don't take what you know, okay? Imagine you are no expert. Actually, it works the opposite way if you're an expert because you make assumptions. You cannot make assumptions, okay? So here the most-
I remember last class that Daniel was talking about physics, right?
Exactly.
And he says that it's not literally, and he was not focused on the reading, he was focused on his own knowledge, right?
Exactly. So what they suggest is no, I mean, ask yourself questions, but don't take your area of expertise as credited in this case, because normally what they give you are articles or case studies. So they are not literal. Maybe Daniel was right, but not in the exam. Okay, so here active reading is something that I recommend you to do a lot now before the exam, because the more you question yourself, the more you analyze the words at an individual level, the fastest you will answer on the day of the exam. Okay, usually this reading it's used, as it's mentioned here, in scholarly research articles, which is what comes in Cambridge, medical reports, or poetic literature. However, it's time consuming, okay? So if you have time and patience, like now, when you're preparing for an exam, you can do it, okay? You can do it because as it says, it consumes time and you analyze each word for meaning in active reading, okay? The day of the exam, not so much. This is what you use to prepare, and we will put it into practice in a few minutes. Okay, these are very briefly the reading techniques you can use. What is the one you can use for the exam? A mix of all of them. Sometimes you scan, then you skim, etc. But the suggestion that I find most useful is what comes directly from the Cambridge preparation CAE techniques.
Teacher, can you go back just one slide? So I finished the idea, please. Thank you.
You're welcome. So this one, guys, this one we're going to do now, we're going to do reading. I believe it's way more useful. So we're going to put everything we have here into practice, okay? Number one, to practice the technique, we're going to choose a reading, okay? And Cambridge is giving us a choice, A, B, or C, okay? In this case, I chose B for you, okay? So reading one was Fail Productively, How to Turn Yourself into a Super Learner from The Guardian Online. B, Business Success Requires Memory from Wired Magazine. And Can You Imagine Your Way to Success from BBC Sports News. So here, this is what we're going to do, okay? You're going to look at the title, okay? This is the Cambridge technique, don't forget. You're going to look first at the title, pictures, and headings that go with the article and read the paragraph, just the first paragraph, no more, okay? Don't cheat. Again, look at the title, the pictures, the headings, scroll down because you're on a computer, observe everything, and read paragraph one. You have to answer to yourself, and then you share with us, what do you think the article is about? Just with the title, headings, and first paragraph, and pictures. Then, B, do you think the article will consist mainly of facts or opinions? Because the readings in Cambridge are usually either facts or opinions, okay? So you need to start differentiating that. And C, is the tone formal, neutral, or informal, okay? Here, I'm going to need, because the reading, it wouldn't fit on the screen. It was very small. I'm going to need you to go to this page, okay? I'm going to put it on the chat. And in your notebook, final step, write 3 questions you're hoping to find answers to in the article. Again, this is not talking about the questions in number 1. Those are for you. But in your notebook, you have to write 3 questions you believe or you hope to find the answers to in that article. Okay, if you check, this is part of this technique that says question. Okay, Cambridge also suggests you to question. Okay, please take a picture of this. I'm also going to send it to the chat. Let me do it right now. But I haven't sent the screenshots, I promise, of vocabulary because I'm sharing screen, okay? But in a minute, since I'm going to stop, I'll do, okay? So I'm going to send you this. Okay. And let me, oops, here. So I'm going to add this to the chat here in Zoom. So click there, okay? Who can tell me before we do it so that we are all clear, who can tell me what is it that you guys have to do? What do you have to do?
We have to read just the first paragraph. And then we should write or invent 3 questions which we hope get the answer from the text.
Yes, but before you read the first paragraph,
to look at the title, the pictures, and the headings, I think.
Before the read paragraph, title, read the title, see the pictures, read the headings, then read paragraph 1. Answer in your mind or on a notebook questions A, B, and C. Okay, and then in your notebook, write 3 questions. You believe, don't read more, please don't read more paragraphs. You have to do it as I say, because I'm going to take you step by step through the Cambridge technique, okay? So don't read more. Try to write these questions that you believe the article will answer, okay? Ready? All right, please click, it's on the chat, okay? And return when you finish. Well, you don't need to leave the meeting, just open the other one. I'm going to stop the share, okay? Tell me when you guys are there on the page.
We are in the page.
You're on the page? Yes? Okay, let's start, please. Tell me when you start. I need to know how long it takes you to read paragraph 1. So please, let's observe, okay? Observe, title, headings, pictures. Tell me when you're done with title, headings, and pictures.
Teacher, headings means as subtitles?
Like subtitles, if they are, right? Because
okay, because I
one.
Okay.
Okay, finished? All right. So now let's start reading. Paragraph 1, please.
Just the first one, right?
Just the first one. Finished? Okay, you tell me when.
Means we have to answer the question by just reading the first paragraph, right?
You have to answer the 3 questions?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Just the questions, right?
I mean, you answer the 3 questions and then you write 3 more questions.
No, I didn't understand. What?
Okay. After reading the first paragraph, you have to answer question A, B, and C that you.
Oh, yes, yes, I didn't watch them. Sorry.
Then you have to write your own 3 questions.
I skip step 2.
Okay. Okay, guys? Finished? Finish? No?
2 minutes more, please.
Okay. Okay? All right, let's check together because of the time. So after looking at the title, pictures and headings, and reading the first paragraph, what do you think the article is about?
I write about how memory affects our daily lives and makes business successful.
Okay, at this stage, I'm not going to say is right or wrong or anything.
Okay.
We will come back to this, okay? We will come back to this. Anyone else, or do you guys have the same? The same?
I was thinking on, I don't know, tips or techniques to have a successful business.
Okay, write it. And we're going to need this notebook again. We're going to need you to write this because we will going to come back to it, okay?
I wrote about some suggestions about improving memory.
Okay, just keep them, keep the notes. Don't tell me later, I lost them. Just keep the notes because we need to come back, okay? B, do you think the article will consist mainly of facts or opinions?
I think both.
Both.
I think facts.
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 Remember,
I think both, but mainly or in the most of the things are going to be facts.
okay.
I agree.
Okay, you agree. All right. Final, is the tone formal, neutral, or informal?
Formal.
Formal. Okay.
I think it's neutral.
I think
I
it's
think
neutral.
it's neutral.
Neutral. Okay. Let's see. Let's find out. Okay. Now, what questions did you write on your notebook? What questions?
I wrote, how can memory function be improved?
How can memory function be improved? Okay.
Which are the main reasons why we decrease our memory capacity?
Okay. And these questions you believe the article will answer for you, right?
I hope so.
All right, that's good. That's good. After this, anyone else would like to share their questions?
I wrote a simple question like low, but I wrote, how can we improve our memory skills?
How can we improve our memory skills?
Or according to the text, which are some of the advantages of taking maybe medicine when we have memory loss?
Okay, again, here we don't have right or wrong answers. This is what you believe at an individual level, the article is going to answer for you, okay? Now, this is the first part, but I want you to memorize what we do. So when you go ahead and have a reading, look at the title. There are no pictures usually, but look at the title, read headings, ask yourself these questions, usually A, B, and C. Ask yourself these questions and think. I know the day of the exam, maybe you don't want to write, but think of questions the article can answer for you. All right, can we continue? All right. Now, Alma, can you please help us? It says reading, task 1, reading for gist, which is skimming, okay? Reading for gist is skimming. Please, Alma, read where it says top tip.
Top tip, just read quickly at first time. This reading strategy is always useful, but particularly for part 5 of the reading paper, as it gives you a general understanding of ideas, style, and structure of the text. This helps your brain process the basic information first. So when you go back and look for more detail, you already have some knowledge of the text and it's easier to find.
Correct, okay, now, this reading strategy is useful for part 5, okay, for part 5, okay. This is what we have to do now. Okay, now you're going to read the text that we have, because I chose it for you, sorry, quickly to get general understanding. This is often referred to as reading for gist. So you will read the complete text, not just the paragraph 1 now, complete, but quickly. Check number 2, time yourself. Don't spend, so in your cell phone, please click where it says chronometro and time yourself. It says, don't spend more than 2 or 3 minutes reading. This is the first time, and we will do it with different articles. So just time yourself. If you spend more than 3, well, okay, but we need to start reducing that time, okay? If you use your cell phone or a digital device, you can get more accurate timing. So go to chronometer or stopwatch, so you know how long it takes you to read for main ideas. Okay. Suggestion number 3, as you read, please do this, guys. As you read quick, don't worry about unfamiliar words. Don't stop to look up new words in dictionaries, no. And we will look at how to deal this later, okay? Number 4, reading for a reason will help you practice reading quickly. Look for the following information. Were the predictions you made in step 2 correct? Does the article answer the questions you wrote in step 3? Okay, let me again send you this picture in your chat. Just a sec. Just a sec. Okay. This is what we have to do. So again, I repeat the steps. Read quickly for general understanding. Time yourself up with your cell phone. 3, don't look up for words. And 4, and more importantly, were the predictions you made in step 2 correct? And does the article answer the questions? So here, were these predictions, you made your predictions and you wrote them. What do you think the article is about? Do you think the article will consist of many facts or opinions? Is the tone formal, neutral, and informal? Were these predictions, were they correct or not? And does the article answer the questions you wrote? Remember, you wrote 3 questions, believing the article will respond those, okay? Does the article answer the questions you wrote on step 3, okay? Ready? Do we understand instructions? All right, then let's do it, please. Go back to the page. Do you still have the web page? It's on the chat. And read it. At the end, tell me how long it took you. Okay, please, time yourself reading. After you read, you do number 4, but you have to stop the timer. I want to know how long it takes you to read, only to read, okay? All right, ready? Let's do it now. Please tell me when you finish. Okay, guys? Finished? Not yet? Remember to time yourself when you finish reading.
Teacher.
Yes?
We just need to finish reading and then we ask ourselves A and B. If the predictions are correct
Yes.
and if the questions are answered, that's all?
That's all, that's all.
Okay, finished.
Perfect, let's continue, okay? Are you done, guys? All right, so how long did you take, Letty?
It took 2 minutes and 40 seconds.
2 minutes and 40 seconds, good, because you shouldn't spend more than 2 or 3, okay? Alma, how long did you take in the reading? Alma? Maybe she wasn't here. Armando, how long did you take?
8 minutes, 40 seconds.
8 minutes. We need to read a lot, Armando.
Yes.
We need to read a lot because it took a long time. That's problematic for the day of the exam, okay? Gloria, how long?
1 minute and 40 seconds.
Oh, excellent timing, excellent timing. Areli?
Really 1 minute? Oh my God, I spent 8 minutes.
8 minutes too?
8 minutes.
The only red flag you have there, Areli and Armando, is you need to read. Okay,
yes,
wait.
Teacher, well, I think, of course, I can read it faster, but I try to get the ideas maybe taking in consideration that it would be part of an exam, that the questions I need to, well, I focused on taking the clue words or the clue ideas of each paragraph, and I did it calmly, but too calmly, right? I spent a lot of time.
Remember the instructions. You need to do it as we say now. The instruction 1 says, you're going to read the text quickly. General understanding, don't worry too much. Now.
Yeah, I wanted to do it like you, Areli, because that's the way I like to read. But I just try to read and not pay attention. Yeah, and I try not to spend a lot of time because I know I can do that. It takes me ages to, because I want to understand everything and I want to check all the information. Yes. So this is challenging. That's why I try just to read and not to do anything else.
Not to stop, no? Just to get the idea.
Yes, because I want to stop and check the words and everything.
Maybe right now we're going against what you know, but this is to teach you reading for a gist. So if you read slowly, you're doing another technique. So you're not doing,
yes,
Cambridge suggests in this step. We have more steps. We have more steps. This is why I need you to do as we say, okay? How long did it take, Mildred?
I did the same as Areli, and I focused on the reading, and it was like 8 minutes as well.
Okay, 8 minutes. Bere?
Yes, me, 7 minutes, 35 seconds, the same.
Minutes, the same, you're trying to understand everything.
I was reading while I was trying to understand the main idea of those, of all the concepts, because it was kind of different information from the first. And then I got a mistake because I thought I finished when I suddenly realized that it was missing more information. So maybe I was lost in there.
Okay. And Alma, how long? Alma, I think you have us on mute because you're there, but hello, Alma. Hello. I think she might be busy. Okay. Or she's still reading. I don't know. Okay. We'll get back to Alma. So that's the time you took reading. Were the predictions you had in step 2 correct?
No, I think that that we thought Alma is there, but she didn't listen to us. She wrote in the chat.
Alma, you wrote in the chat?
Yes, she's answering me in the chat, but she cannot listen to us.
I think that's the issue. Okay, so in general, you said the predictions were not correct. So what
yes.
you believe the article was about? No. If
no.
you believe it was either fact or opinion? No. Neutral, informal, or formal? No. Okay. Now, did the article answer the questions you wrote on step 3?
No.
No. I think that we were talking, well, in general, all the class, we were talking about memory, good memory for us or for people. And the article is about databases, right?
Okay, this is what we have to do. Don't worry. As homework, but I really, really need you to do this homework. I'm going to send you links for reading. If one day of the week I forget, please text me, remind me. But I have to send you one per day. And I want you to do these steps and these steps, okay, to improve your reading. I'm sorry to give you this homework and I'm sorry to make you enforce.
Which steps, Miss? Huh? Which steps? The ones that we did?
These ones and these ones, okay? I need to force you because I need you to get better at the reading part, okay? So each day, remind me and I'll send you an article similar to the one you read and do this, okay? Do this. You don't need to send me homework or anything, just do the steps.
We are not going to give them to you. We just practice. We just do it.
Exactly. And
with
next
these steps.
Yes. And next class, we are going to continue with more, okay? How do you manage guessing meaning from vocabulary? Because this is one of the biggest problems. I don't know the meaning of this word and you mortify yourself and you waste time. Well, we're going to practice from context, guessing, okay? So next class, as you can see, we have more and we're going to go back and look for words. So I need you to do this as homework, okay? All right, and we will continue with more reading practices, but the most important part for you to get better is read. If you have books in English, excellent. If not, from these pages, for example, here, for example, Wire Magazine, BBC, The Guardian Online, you can find articles that are formal enough for you to practice, okay? And I'm going to be sending you articles from here, okay? Also, let me send you a link on the chat.
I would like to share something.
Sure, just this link on the chat in Zoom, if you click on it, it has the list of word formation I was talking about. It's 13 pages. We covered just the first one yet, okay? This is the list, all right? Letty, let me give you permission to share.
Yeah,
right?
Bueno, but maybe this is useful if you have problems with this. I think it's, well, at least it was for me. So I share this tip, if you can say it. I think it's a good way to read quickly. For example, I just mark, instead of reading everything, I just try to, as the teacher said, scanning, but just picking the words. For example, in this paragraph, business, accent, reason, memory, active, data, platforms were crucial, and I go to the next. So in this way, you don't have to read like everything. Or in this one, I think, for example, in this paragraph, the most important is the companies. They mention the companies and they mention prices. So just with that, it's enough to know that some information, if there is any question about some companies, it's here. And you continue with the next paragraph. So in that way, you can save a lot of time instead of reading everything. It's the same with other things, like when you have names, for example, this one, talk about human memory, neuroscience, maybe a professor, what he said, and neurons, and that's all. Well, it's just a tip.
Yeah, this tip is popular in, I don't know if you guys have heard of fast reading courses, those courses that promise you will read 2,000, 3,000 words per minute. This is called, what is it called? Saltos de lectura, creo. Your eyes go and see only some words. Yes, it is a good technique for reading fast. I believe with this, you could do reading for reading for specific information, because I also didn't want, I even have books on fast reading techniques, but for the Cambridge exams, you need a little bit of understanding. So,
yes, for the CAI exercises, I think that if you don't read the word no or yes, the meaning sense totally. And they are tricky words. So maybe this tip, as Letty said, is for just to have more vocabulary or to get the ideas, the whole ideas. But for specific topics as in CAI exercise, it's complicated because it happens to me that I get the soul or the, how do you say when you get the la esencia, the gist? When you get the gist, that you think that you get the gist, but in fact you get the opposite because you don't read the idea, the complete idea. So that confused me.
Okay. So anyways, all of the techniques are good. Just practice them. My suggestion, I'm going to send you a reading and please do the steps. You have the steps because I shared the pictures, okay, on the PowerPoint. But let me see if I can send you now the other, give me a second, the reading, give me just a second. No, not here. Oh, so maybe it's slow. Were you able to see the link of the CAI word formation? Did you click? Perfect. Let me check. Where do I have that? Okay, I'll send them right now after class because I don't find it at the moment, but it's going to be the first reading. Oh, wait, I think it's here. Give me a sec. I've got the newest iOS and it changed a little. So I'm having difficulties with that.
Teacher, can I ask you something? Yes. Is there any technique that, well, I don't know if it's a personal decision or if it's a reading technique to read first the questions? Because yes. So I've listened in a course that I had, I remember that they say, no, you have to read the questions and then you have to look the specific information. I think that that's not suitable for me, but in my techniques, I read the whole text, then I try to look up the information of the questions, and I lose a lot of time. So I don't know if it's better to read the questions. I don't know.
Usually recommend the students to read the questions first in exams. It helps. It helps more. Maybe you believe it's taking longer because, or that you're going to take long, but when you read the questions give you a general idea
of what's the text about.
Exactly. So it's a good idea. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Excellent. Now I'm going to send you the link of the next article. Please follow the steps. Okay. Let me put in the chat. This is going to be like your homework for today. And I'm going to send you one every day except tomorrow because it's Sunday. Okay. This is the article. Right.
Okay. This is for today and for Monday up to Friday, right?
Okay.
Okay.
Just remind me on the chat because sometimes I forget. The second link you have on the chat, it's the 13 pages of word formation for the CAE. Okay?
Okay.
All right, guys, study, and I'll be seeing you next week, okay? Enjoy.
Thank you.
Enjoy your weekend.
Thank you, Miss.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.